You have noticed it. The flight schools are closing. The maintenance shops are turning away work. The young pilots are disappearing. And the airplanes, the small ones, the ones you learned in, the ones that taught you how to fly, are sitting on ramps with flat tires and faded paint. Nobody is flying them. Nobody is fixing them. Nobody is saving them. And nobody seems to care. Let me start with a story. A friend of mine owns a 1968 Cessna 150. It is a beautiful machine. Low time. Always hangared. He learned to fly in it. His son learned to fly in it. He wants to give it to his grandson. But the grandson has no interest. He wants to fly drones. He wants to fly simulators. He wants to fly electric air taxis. He does not want to fly a noisy, slow, smelly airplane from the 1960s. My friend is heartbroken. He has offered the plane to flight schools. They do not want it. It is too old, too slow, too hard to insure. He has offered it to flying clubs. They do not want it. They want glass cockpits. They want air conditioning. They want Cirruses. He has listed it for sale. The only offers are from scrap dealers. They want to part it out. His airplane, his memory, his legacy is worth more as spare parts than as a flying machine. That is the death of small airplanes. Here is the truth. The small airplane market is dying, not slowing, not correcting. Dying. And there are 3 killers. Killer number 1, the cost of maintenance. A Cessna 150 that cost $500 a year to maintain in 1990 now costs $3,000. A Piper Cherokee that cost $1,000 now costs $5,000. A Beechcraft Musketeer that cost $1,500 now costs $6,000. The parts are getting rare. The mechanics are getting old. The labor rates are climbing. And the airplanes are not getting any younger. Every year, more parts become unavailable. More shops stop working on vintage aircraft. More owners give up and sell for scrap. It is a slow death. But it is a death. Killer number 2, the pilot shortage. Not airline pilots, small airplane pilots. The average age of a general aviation pilot in the United States is 45. In Canada, it is 48. In Europe, it is 50. Young people are not getting licenses. They cannot afford it. A private pilot certificate now costs $15,000. That is more than a year of community college. That is more than a down payment on a house. Young people are choosing debt-free lives. They are choosing careers that pay. They are not choosing aviation. And without young pilots, there is no one to buy the small airplanes when the old pilots die. The airplanes will sit, they will decay, they will be scrapped. Killer number 3, the regulatory assault. We talked about emissions for ATVs. It is worse for airplanes. The EPA is targeting leaded aviation fuel. That is the fuel that powers almost every small airplane. The Cessna 172, the Piper Cherokee, the Beechcraft Bonanza, the Cirrus SR-22. They all burn 100 LL, leaded fuel. The EPA wants it gone. They have set a deadline of 2030. That is 4 years from now. After that, 100 LL will be banned. There is no replacement. There are unleaded fuels in development. They are expensive. They are not available everywhere. They have not been certified for all engines. When the ban hits, millions of small airplanes will be grounded. Not because they are broken, because they cannot drink. That is the death blow. Let me pause here. I want you to think about your own airplane. If you own one, what do you fly? How old is it? How hard is it to find parts? How hard is it to find a mechanic? How hard is it to find fuel? Go to the comments. Tell me your story. Because the problem is worse than most people realize. It is not just old planes. It is new planes too. The Diamond DA-40 Star, the Cirrus SR-22, the Piper M600 SLS. These are modern machines. They burn 100 LL. They will be grounded by the lead ban. The manufacturers are working on solutions, but they are not ready. The FAA is slow. The certification process takes years. The deadline is coming, and the industry is not prepared. I want to talk about the economics. A new Cessna 172 costs $400,000. A new Piper Archer costs $450,000. A new Diamond DA40 costs $600,000. That is insane. That is more than a house in many parts of the country. The manufacturers are not building small airplanes for normal people. They are building them for flight schools, for corporate fleets, for rich people. The normal person, the person who wants to fly on weekends, the person who wants to own an airplane, cannot afford a new one. So they buy used. But the used market is drying up. The good used planes are getting old. The bad used planes are getting scrapped. The inventory is shrinking, the prices are rising, and the cycle continues. Let me give you a specific example. The Piper Cub. In 1990, you could buy a flying Cub for $5,000. In 2000, $10,000. In 2010, $20,000. In 2020, $40,000. Today, $60,000. That is a 1,200% increase in 35 years. Wages have not increased 1,200%. Inflation has not been 1,200%. The Cub is not 1,200% better. It is just that the supply is fixed and the demand from collectors has increased. The same is true for the Cessna 150. The same is true for the Piper Cherokee. The same is true for every popular vintage airplane. They are becoming collectibles, not aircraft. And when an airplane becomes a collectible, it stops being flown. It sits in a hangar. It gets polished. It gets admired. It does not fly. That is not what airplanes are for. Airplanes are for flying. Let me pause again. I want you to think about the future. What happens in 10 years? 20 years? Will there be any small airplanes left? Will there be any pilots to fly them? Will there be any fuel to power them? Will there be any mechanics to fix them? The answer is not clear. But the trend is clear. Down. Fewer airplanes, fewer pilots, fewer airports, fewer mechanics, fewer parts. The small airplane is becoming extinct, and nobody is saving them. Not the manufacturers, not the government, not the associations. Nobody. I want to tell you about a plane that is already extinct. The Grumman AA-1, the Yankee. It was a great little airplane. Fast, efficient, fun. Grumman built about 2,000 of them. Today, maybe 500 are still flying. The rest have been crashed, parted out, or left to rot. The parts are almost impossible to find. The mechanics who know how to work on them are retiring. The owners are dying. And the young pilots do not want them. The AA-1 is dying. Not from malice, from neglect, from time, from the simple fact that nothing lasts forever. The same thing is happening to the Beechcraft Musketeer, the Cessna 177 Cardinal, the Piper Comanche, the Socata TB-20 Trinidad. These are not ancient airplanes. They are from the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. They are middle-aged, but they are dying because the parts supply is drying up, because the mechanics are disappearing, because the owners cannot afford the maintenance, because the young pilots do not want them. They want Cirrus SR-22s and Diamond DA-40S and Pipistrel Panthera. They want glass cockpits and airbags and parachutes. They want modern, and modern costs money. A lot of money. Here is the irony. The small airplanes that are dying are the ones that taught us to fly. The Cessna 150, the Piper Cherokee, the Beechcraft Sundowner, the Grumman AA-1. These are the trainers, the workhorses, the gateways. They are the reason any of us are pilots. And we are letting them die. Not because we are cruel, because we are busy, because we are old, because we have other priorities, but we are letting them die. Let me pause one more time. I want you to think about what you can do. If you own a small airplane, fly it. Do not let it sit. Do not let it rot. Fly it. If you do not own a small airplane, consider buying one. not as an investment, as a mission, as a way to keep the dream alive. And if you cannot buy one, support the people who do. Support the mechanics. Support the parts suppliers. Support the flight schools. Be a voice for small aviation. Because if we do not, nobody will. I want to talk about the exceptions. The airplanes that are not dying. The de Havilland Canada DHC-2 Beaver. This is a legend. It is also a survivor. There are Beavers flying today that are 70 years old. They are flying because they work, because they have a mission, because people need them. The same is true for the Piper Cub. The Cub survives because it is simple, because it is cheap to operate, because it is fun. The same is true for the Cessna 182. The Cessna 182 survives because it is useful, because it can carry a load, because it can go anywhere. The airplanes that have a mission survive. The airplanes that are just toys die. The Icon A5. This is a modern amphibious light sport. It is beautiful. It is expensive. It is also struggling. Icon has been near bankruptcy multiple times. The A5 is a toy, a very expensive toy. It does not have a mission. It is not a trainer. It is not a workhorse. It is not a cross-country machine. It is a toy. And toys die when the economy turns. The A5 may not survive. That is the lesson. Mission matters. Utility matters. The airplanes that are dying are the ones without a clear mission. The ones that are just for fun. The ones that are just for nostalgia. Nostalgia does not pay for maintenance. Nostalgia does not keep parts in production. Nostalgia does not train new pilots. Utility does. Mission does. Here is my final thought. The small airplane is not dead yet, but it is dying. And the only way to save it is to fly it, to maintain it, to teach in it, to buy it, to support it. If you love small airplanes, do not just watch videos about them. Do not just read articles. Go to the airport, start the engine, take off, fly somewhere, land, do it again. That is how you save them. Not with words, with action. The small airplane is dying. But you can save one. Not all. One. You're one. Go save it. If you have a story about a small airplane you saved or one you lost, tell me in the comments. Tell me about the mechanic who kept your plane flying. Tell me about the part you searched for months to find. Tell me about the flight that reminded you why you love this. Because the stories are all we have. And the stories are what will keep the small airplane alive. Not forever. Nothing lasts forever. But longer. Long enough for one more generation. Long enough for one more flight. Go take it.